Hi guys, it's Chris with City Your Homestead. How are you this morning? So everybody asks what you're going to can next. Well, the next thing I'm going to can is a Rebel canning. It is not USDA approved. Do not say that I told you to go out and can it. It's just something that I do, and I've done. This is, I think, my 4th or 5th can I've done of it, and I trust it, but you have to judge for yourself. Again, it is Rebel canning. So what I'm canning today is our sausage gravy. We're down to 1 jar. So I buy this at either Sam's or at Gordon's wholesale, and Gordon's food service, sorry. And I buy this, then I bring it in and I stir it. And then I load my jars within an inch headspace. And it does have meat in it, so you're going to want to do meat times. I'm putting it in pints. A quart is just too much for me and Tom at one time. And you want to be sure that you debubble this as well. And if you get too much in it, like I might just have done, but we'll see. Look, I got some right on the side there. Let me move this a little bit. So for those of you that have never canned before, this is what you're debubbling. See that right there? That allows bacteria and stuff to grow in, so you want to make sure you get all of those bubbles out. Debubble it really, really good. Let me grab a spoon. All right, so I got a spoon. And I'm going to take some of that out of there and bring it right down to the inch head space. Then, like with everything else, you want to make sure that you clean your rim really, really good. Because this does have meat in it, you want it to be very, very clean. I do around the sides and everything. And then you put a lid on it, and a ring, and fingertip tight. Now this, because it does have meat, I might do Rebel once in a while, but I don't can stupid. So make sure that your meats are always pressure canned. I know that maybe back in the day they didn't do that, but you know, we do it now. I mean, I do Rebel once in a while, but I'm not going to can anything that I feel would put my family in jeopardy. I would never do that. I know there's a couple channels that I watch, one in particular, and she says that we're automatically trying to kill everybody, and that is not true. We care about our family just as much as everybody else does. I set out 6 because that's what I got last time. Was 6, so I'm hoping that that's what I get this time. If I get more, I've got another jar. And these are those jars from Little Dusty's. So the lady that had them before, she's had 3 different things put in them now. So, and they're going to be loved just like she did. I know that sounds so funny, but you know, that's honestly how I feel about it. Put another lid on there, another ring. This is all cold, so I don't have to have my water starting to heat up. And then I wanted to tell you something. Yesterday when I was at the Amish store, they have a really nice canning selection. You know, they have different jars and lids. And by the way, you know, yeah, I am for 4-jar lids, and that's what I'm using today. But the Amish have really good lids too. A couple of years ago, they were coming in shortage, and then they were really highly priced. Now, some of their jars and stuff are high priced too, but they have a lot of really good canning supplies there. And I know my sister used to actually call up there and order the lids. I don't think she does that now, but she used to. I think she uses all 4-jar too. But, so there was this couple, and they said that they were from Gladwin, which is not too far. That's where our old cabin used to be. And he says, man, he goes, he goes, today, he goes, looks like all the city of Gladwin is out here shopping. And I thought to myself, yeah, I think they are. And so, but he said, he says, yeah, I'm out here to get whatever. And she goes, I seen all those canning supplies in your wife's cart. And he says, you know, he goes, we're actually trying to live more off the land. And his buddy goes, you know, he goes, we got a big garden too. And they're going to learn the same things. And I looked over at him and I said, you know what? Learn to can and can it all up. And he says, you're right. So I think a lot of people are feeling that sense of urgency, and people are learning how to can, how to preserve their food, because in these uncertain times, we have no clue on what life is going to throw us. You know what I mean? We really don't. There's new stuff happening every day. And I'm not saying I don't want you to be scared. Don't be scared. God wouldn't want that. You know, and I don't want that for us either. But, you know, even if it's job loss, if it's, you know, the big C and you couldn't get to the store or whatever it happens to be, you never want to be stuck not being able to provide food for your family. So it's not always like, oh my gosh, prep for the, you know, the end of the world and whatever. That is not what I'm saying. And a lot of the prepping channels are not saying that either. But if you can and you want to can, I'm saying learn how and, you know, be prepared. Because you never know. I mean, especially people that are in the bad weather climate places. We all know, you know, you get, you know, bad hurricane or tornadoes or whatever. And you may not be able to get to the stores for a few days because, you know, there'll be down trees and all kinds of crap. So, you know, make sure that you're prepared for that. You know, this is not a necessity. This is something that makes Sunday morning breakfast a lot easier, and it is really tasty. And like I say, this is our third or fourth, I think, jar that we've went through, and it's nice just to grab some, warm it up, and then put it over toast or, you know, our bread or whatever. It's pretty nice to do that. So I'm going to finish canning these up and see how many I get, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I got 6 pints and a half pint, and then I have this much left, not quite enough to do a whole pint or half pint. So I'll give that to Jack and put it over toast or something. But now I've got it turned on. The water was cold. The jars are cold. Lids are cold. Canner's cold. So now we're going to let that heat up, and we're going to wait for this vent pipe right here to, let me see if you can see it, to steam heat complete, just like, not just like psh, psh, but shh. We want it to be constant. So then when that happens, I'll bring you back. Okay, so now it is at a steady stream. It doesn't just pss, 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 pss. So now it is 10 pounds for my area. We're going to put on, I call it the jiggler. And when she starts jiggling, it's got to build up pressure so that it can, you know, start to make it jiggle. But she'll jiggle and she'll go ch-ch-ch. That's when you adjust your heat for your canner. Mine usually is just below the medium, and it keeps it a constant jiggle. And I will set my timer for 75 minutes. I'll bring it back when it starts to jiggle. Alrighty. So she's jiggling. Then she'll stop. Then she'll stop. Then she'll jiggle again. Now you start your timer. 75 minutes. Alright, so there it is. Completely done. Fresh out of the canner. 6 jars. Well, there's one that just popped. And that half a pint. Doesn't that look beautiful? Again, remember, it is not USDA approved. It is not. So you make decisions for yourself. You guys have a blessed day. Be a blessing. See you at supper.